Dances around the arena and digs his hooves into the ground. He begins charging the matador as thousands of people cheer. Now that I have your attention, I'd like today to speak about the culture, structure, and different variations of bullfighting in Spain. Prominent throughout Spanish history, the Spanish have influenced other cultures to adapt many different forms of bullfighting. I've found myself becoming fascinated with bullfighting throughout researching this subject. To begin, I'd like to talk about why bullfighting is ingrained in Spain's history. According to the Encyclopedia Britannica, the origin of bullfighting has been brought in by many different cultures, and there's not an exact specific thing that it derived from. There was an excavation of the Isle of Crete which had art on the walls depicting youth jumping over charging bulls. This was known as bullfighting is known as a demonstration of style, technique, and culture, according to its advocates, and a form of cruelty and cowardice to its naysayers. Many animal rights activists have tried to ban the practice of bullfighting, but under the European Union, the bullfighting in Spain is protected as a national culture. Now that I've informed you about the basics of bullfighting culture, let's talk about the structure. There are three different phases of a bullfighting match, according to Nadine Lloyd, who is the an expert author at AsianArticles.com. The first stage is known as the third of lancing. A picador lances the bull on the top of the mound on his back to weaken and anger the bull. The second phase, which is known as the third of banderillas, three different banderillas stick two lances each through the back of the bull to further anger and weaken the bull. Moving on to the third phase is the most famous phase associated with bullfighting is the third of death. This is where the matador waves the cape and the bull charges, and nearing the end of the match, the matador will pierce the bull through his heart and kill him. A common misconception is that a red cape being used is to anger the bull, which is actually false. Bulls are colorblind. Now that we know the different types of bullfighting, let's talk about the different types of bullfighting. According to Norma Estadalis, retorts and comical bullfighting are the other different types of popular bullfighting. Retorts are less popular than regular bullfighting. They are demonstrated with non-professionals who are wearing street clothes, and there's no harm done to the bull in the process of this. The bull is allowed to return to its pen after they are done. This is also carried out in teams. The teams are judged by a jury and awarded points accordingly, and there are very limited rules in this type of bullfighting, so the bullfighters are allowed to perform how they want to. The last type of bullfighting I'd like to speak about today is the comical bullfighting. Now, this is strictly for comical use, and most of the time they use young bulls that are not very dangerous, and people are basically allowed to do what they want, and this is strictly for entertainment purposes in a comical sense. Although we've just skimmed the surface, we now have a better understanding of bullfighting in Spain and the culture that it has brought. First, we spoke about the culture. Second, we spoke about the structure, and third, we spoke about the different types of bullfighting. Now we can all relate back to that bull and the matador in front of those thousands of people.